forget why we are marching. This is a peaceful protest. Onye chekwana ndị okwu. Onye ọbụla wara nwayọ na-aga. Ị na-aga ị na-enyere nwanne gị. Ọ ga-adị mkpọgoti ya. Onye akwakwana mmadụ aka. Onye apịkwana nwaanyị aka n'ala. Onye everywhere we are marching. This is a peaceful protest. Onya Chopanando, Onya Bunawa Naga, Inagina, and one nagi, all that poverty, Onya Papanamaka, Onya Puanawana Kanala,
everywhere, favor everywhere, Jesus everywhere, everywhere you go. Bless me, bam bam. You the bless me, bam bam. You the bless me, bam bam. Baba bless me, bam 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 bam. Oh boy, in all you're getting, get plenty akalapala. If you don't get money, people go jump to insult you anyhow. Now because of poverty, make people think, say, that physical challenge, not spiritual problem. Let me show you money. Honor me, and no to make fun of me. Honor me, and no to make fun of me. Oh, good I'm blessed in the morning. I'm blessed in the noontime. I'm blessed in the evening. I'm blessed in the nighttime. I'm blessed in the morning. I'm blessed in the noontime. I'm blessed in the evening with plenty money. bam bam. You the bless me bam bam. You the bless me bam bam. Baba bless me bam 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 bam. Now so. Say plenty money for your head. For your head. Plenty dollars for my head. For my head. Say plenty money for your head. For your head. Testimony for my head. Say plenty money for your head. For your head. Plenty dollars for my head. For my head. Say plenty more.
Your mercies you renew for me day. I'm just a
Your hands. Something is going to happen here tonight. The fire of God is going to fall here. The fire is going to fall. Sinners will change. Souls will change. When the fire falls. Oh God. Governments will change. Protocols shall be broken. When the fire falls, hey. Oh Jesus, demons will bow, ancient worlds will crumble. When the fire falls, oh Jesus, let it go down tonight. Oceans will dry, mountains will melt. When the fire falls. Let the fire fall. Let it come down tonight. We will
work now. Are you here to challenge anybody? Do your work. Are you here to challenge this police?
And they still denied it. Don't we have bodies of people that were killed in Bondi, Saki Piam? Did they not deny it? If they want to ask about bodies, they should tell the soldiers they sent to Lekki to present the bodies they took away from Lekki. Absolutely. And return them to their families and parents so that they can be given proper burial and we can have closure over their case. But the closure over their case can never happen without punishing those people who ordered the killings. Yes. This is one atrocity that can never be swept under the carpet. Never.
I must say critically that the panel hasn't done enough. However, beyond the panel, The demand is that there's a need for justice in the land. You cannot set up a panel and the main issues are still there every day. Nigerians are demanding that there must be justice. There should be respect and regard for the dignity of human person as provided by the constitution. Nigerians should be able to work freely. Nigerians should be able to live in this country happily and freely. But as I speak to you today, the Nigerian police force, the DSS, and all other security agencies consistently to abuse Nigerians' rights. For example, look at what we saw on the 1st of July at Chief Sunday Igboho's house, wherein DSS invaded the house, killed about 3-4 persons, and arrested a lot of people. Some of these people are still in detention till tomorrow. I mean, this is the reckless abuse of human rights we're talking about. We actually need sanctity in this land. We need decency. Recently, at the Federal High Court, a journalist was harassed by security agencies. By security agents. I mean, we cannot continue like that. And that is why I was saying that this protest and the demand will continue in order to show that this country needs to move forward beyond where we are today.
Yeah. Forever, we shall never be defeated. If I know what Steve wants, SARS wants to kill me.
Why the vlogger like that now? Why the vlogger like that? Why the vlogger like that? What do you do, man?
Just because of Apple Watch, or because you refuse to unlock your phone, one shot, you're gone and you're dead. Why? We act as if these people die and will come back next month. They're not coming back. As they don't die, go finish. Enough is enough. Our voices must be heard. You people must hear us because we dey hear now when campaign reach. So please hear us this time. Thank you.
Where there's hope for us all.
Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Goldie. If this is your first time, you are welcome. So in today's video, we are dedicating it to our fallen heroes who lost their lives to the SARS protest. I know a lot of my viewers they are wondering what do I mean by SARS protest. SARS was actually a slogan we used in Nigeria to end the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. It is a unit in the Nigerian police force which have been known for their long-term abuses and brutality. So today, making it 1 year.
Whoa, yeah, yeah.
In remembrance of our fallen heroes, 2010-20. Bloodshed can't be forgotten because our hands are stained forever. United we stand, divided. Truth will always be our shield against. It's a slow process, but quitting won't speed it up. Nobody's ambition is worth the blood of any Nigerian.
As we all know, this short video right here is a narration of what happened last year. We are Nigerians for Christ's sake. We can't kill each other. We can't murder each other because we are fighting for justice. We can't raise a stained flag up to the world and say, yes, we are Nigerian. Nigerians stay truly Nigerian and self-stand. Right there. And SARS.
Nigerian military officers are like zombies who obey idiotic orders. NSAS hero DJ Switch. Welcome to today's news. Nigerian entertainer Obianuju Catherine Ude, popularly known as DJ Switch, has likened Nigerian military personnel to zombies. She stated this while referencing Fela Anikulapo Kuti's 1977 hit song "Zombie", in which the lead singer describes Nigerian soldiers as mindless zombies who follow idiotic orders. In her speech at the Osio Freedom Forum, the entertainer said youth are ready to stand up to the oppressors, who are afraid of youth and have failed to create an enabling environment for them to thrive and contribute. She lambasted Nigeria's Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who she described as one of the country's oppressors. She said, "As an artist and a DJ, I listen to music a lot all the time, and I am reminded of the legend, the artist, Fela Anikulapo Kuti. He was known for speaking truth to power with his music, and I am reminded of his 1977 song titled Zombie. Yeah, Fela likens the Nigerian military to mindless zombies following idiotic orders. It was relevant then, it is relevant today, and it is most likely relevant tomorrow in the future. The same future that they say is in the hands of the leaders of tomorrow, but we have tomorrow are recycled leaders of today who have failed to provide an enabling environment for young leaders to thrive and contribute. But they chose instead to kill us all off one by one. This might sound outrageous to you, and you might wonder why. I will tell you, our leaders are afraid. It is as simple as that. They are afraid of a thinking, innovative, and collaborative working Nigeria. They are afraid of every young Nigerian who, against all odds, have made it for themselves. They are afraid of a me, the coconut head generation, as we like to call ourselves. We are hard-headed. We are not easily deceived by propaganda. We stand up to our oppressors, starting with the Nigerian Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed. Yes, you heard me right. The Nigerian Minister of Information, our very own spin doctor, his first name is Lai. It is inevitable, right? The pun is begging me. Lai called the shooting a fabrication of a massacre without bodies. He said I was a purveyor of fake news with an intent of tarnishing the nation's image, and I am a terrorist among other things. The Nigerian army called the shooting fake, and that I had made the whole thing up with a green screen. Yes, I have plans of going to Hollywood after this speech. The Jesuit gained prominence after doing a live video of the Lekki toll gate shooting last October. At the time, many Nigerians took to the streets to demonstrate against police brutality under the EndSARS campaign. The protesters had called for the disbandment of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS). The protesters had called for the disbandment of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS), a police unit notorious for extrajudicial killings, human rights abuses and torture. On October 20, 2020, the Nigerian military reportedly fired live rounds of bullets at the protesters, which resulted in the death of some. The Jesuit was later targeted by the Nigerian government, forcing her to flee the country. Exactly 1 year ago, October 8, 2020, demonstrations started in major cities across Nigeria as youth protested against the death of a young man killed by the police in Delta State on October 3, 2020. The widespread protest is what is now known as EndSARS protest. Nigerian entertainer Obianuju Catherine Ude, popularly known as DJ Switch, has likened Nigerian military personnel to zombies. She stated this while referencing Fela Anikulapo Kuti's 1977 hit song "Zombie", in which the lead singer describes Nigerian soldiers as mindless zombies who follow idiotic orders. In her speech at the Oslo Freedom Forum, the entertainer said youth are ready to stand up to the oppressors who are afraid of youth and have failed to create an enabling environment for them to thrive and contribute. She lambasted Nigeria's Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who she described as one of the country's oppressors. She said, as an artist and a DJ, I listen to music a lot all the time and I am reminded of the legend, the artist Fela Anikulapo Kuti. He was known for speaking truth to power with his music and I am reminded of his 1977 song titled Zombie. Yeah, Fela likens the Nigerian military to mindless zombies following idiotic orders. It was relevant then, it is relevant today, and it is most likely relevant tomorrow in the future. The same future that they say is in the hands of the leaders of tomorrow, but what we have tomorrow are recycled leaders of today who have failed to provide an enabling environment for young leaders to thrive and contribute. But they chose instead to kill us all off one by one. This might sound outrageous to you, and you might wonder why I would tell you our leaders are afraid. It is as simple as that. They are afraid of a thinking, innovative, and collaborative working Nigeria. They are afraid of every young Nigerian who, against all odds, have made it for themselves. They are afraid of a meme, the coconut head generation, as we like to call ourselves. We are hard-headed. We are not easily deceived by propaganda. We stand up to our oppressors, starting with the Nigerian Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed. Yes, you heard me right. The Nigerian for Information, our very own spine doctor, his first name is Lai. It is inevitable, right? The pun is begging me. Lai called the shooting a fabrication of a massacre without bodies. He said I was a purveyor of fake news with an intent of tarnishing the nation's image, and I am a terrorist among other things. The Nigerian army called the shooting fake, and that I made the whole thing up with a green screen. Yes, I have plans of going to Hollywood after this speech. DJ Switch gained prominence after doing a live video of the Lekki toll gate shooting last October. At the time, many Nigerians took to the streets to demonstrate against police brutality under the SARS campaign. The protesters had called for the disbandment of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS), a police unit notorious for extrajudicial killings, human rights abuses and torture. On October 20, 2020, the Nigerian military reportedly fired live-armed rounds of bullets at the protesters, which resulted in the death of some. The DJ Switch was later targeted by the Nigerian government, forcing her to flee the country. Exactly 1 year ago, October 8, 2020, demonstration started in major cities across Nigeria as youth protested against the death of a young man killed by the police in Delta State on October 3, 2020. The widespread protest is what is now known as EndSARS. Now we've come to the end of our today's news. Thanks for listening. Enjoy your day. Thank you.
They are killing my people. They are killing morning. Look at that. I've often heard that it is best to start these types of talks with a joke to make you people feel comfortable and relaxed. And so I have no such plans. What I do have, though, is a clip from a live recording I made on the 20th of October, 2020. Please, viewer discretion is advised.
They're shooting us! They're shot 2 people! Oh my goodness! See somebody else. Everybody look at this. These are the bullets that were falling by our side that we were dodging bullets.
My name is Obianuju Catherine Ude. Don't worry, you can call me DJ Switch. I'm from Enugu State, which is in the southeast region of Nigeria. For years, young Nigerians like myself with interesting hairstyles, ripped jeans, iPhones, nice cars, have been harassed, extorted, illegally detained, tortured, raped, and killed by the Nigerian police, specifically a unit of the Nigerian police called SARS. SARS stands for Special Anti-Robbery Squad, and trust me, they truly are a special bunch. A special breed of armed robbers in uniform. A special group and gang of rapists with a badge. A special crowd of murderers with a license to carry a gun. For as long as I can remember, we begged and petitioned the Nigerian government to put an end to this corrupt unit. And to their credit, they complied, or at least it seemed like they complied. First, with the disbandment of SARS in 2016, then again in 2017, 2018, 2019. I know it's an abusive relationship. 2020, and I know we all won't be forgetting 2020 in a hurry. As the coronavirus ravaged the globe, back home in Nigeria, we were more afraid of another type of virus, SARS. On the 3rd of October, a video surfaced online where SARS officers shot a young man and fled with his Lexus SUV. We were outraged. But this was followed by the gunning down of an up-and-coming Nigerian musician. I'm a musician. Could have been me. At this point, the hashtag #EndSARS was trending all over the world. And thanks to Nigeria's biggest celebrities and artists, influencers who said, enough is enough, it is time we speak up. And so by the 8th of October, the streets of Nigeria were filled with young men and women protesting police brutality, and I was one of them. But it is the 20th of October, 2020, that has brought me here today. On that very horrible day, the Nigerian army, sanctioned by the Nigerian government, stormed the Lekki toll gate, and this is a major roadway in Lagos State, by the way. No warning, no dialogue. Soldiers opened fire on unarmed, peaceful protesters with live ammunition. We cried, we braced, and we started to sing the national anthem, just with hopes that they recognize we're not their enemy. It made no difference. As I laid on the floor, I remember a young man, he just jumped on top of my body and he was screaming, "Cover her, cover her." I couldn't really make sense of what the whole thing was about. He was struck by a bullet on his lower back. I genuinely believe he saved my life, and I don't even know who he is. I don't even know why I didn't run, to be honest. At that time, I thought it was the end. And so my instinct at the moment was show everybody what's going on. You know, you're going to die here today. And so I pulled out my phone, went to Instagram, started live broadcasting this madness. Viewers on the live helped us call ambulances, but the soldiers refused the ambulance's entry. And so some of us had to turn into instant surgeons in an attempt to remove the bullet from the leg of a protester. Eventually, the shooting stopped, and we observed that some of the soldiers were picking up their shells, I believe in an attempt to hide evidence of this crime. And so we scampered around to pick the shells that we could find in an attempt to have evidence of this crime. And this was while other soldiers were dumping bodies onto their trucks. They left, and we felt a sense of victory, you know. Some can't really explain it. We were happy and angry, relieved, but in pain. But unfortunately, after being on Instagram Live for so long, my phone battery died, because not too long after, another phase of attack was upon us. But this time it was the Nigerian police, and they came in guns blazing as well. And so we ran. We took the injured to a nearby hospital and the others to a church. The church apparently had been on the live, and they had offered us refuge. By the next morning, soldiers raided the hospital looking for me. And I owe a great deal of gratitude and thanks to a friend and colleague who had called me earlier and said, put off the location on your phone and leave that hospital as soon as possible. And so it was barely 15 minutes after I left. But it didn't end there. My boss and his wife got threatening phone calls. I couldn't go home to where I lived because we got reports of strange men lurking around my apartment complex. I haven't gone home, actually, since the 20th of October, 2020. Speaking of home, I'm from a large family of 8, 5 boys, 3 girls, with very opposing characters, I tell you. I'm the last, with a sprinkle of last child crazy. But I remember my parents, you know, they worked really hard to provide us with basic things: food, education, healthcare, security, allowances. All while teaching us to love and respect each other's differences. On the other hand, Nigeria is home to over 200 million brothers and sisters with different cultures and tribes and faiths and beliefs. Things and differences that the government has used for the longest time to pit us against each other. But the End SARS movement swept that away, even if it was just for a time being. I witnessed protesters collaborating and helping each other. Protesters giving food and water to the same police who's been killing us off every day. Others provided security. Another group provided funds that were donated to them, I mean in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, for legal and medical attention to protesters who needed it. This is the real Nigeria. But the Nigerian government, much like an irresponsible parent, failed to see the opportunity as a learning curve, to listen to the cries of its quote-unquote children. Instead, they chose to deny these events and also moved swiftly to silence us. Starting with the Nigerian Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed. And yes, you heard me right. The Nigerian Minister of Information, our very own spin doctor. Yeah, his first name is Lai. It's inevitable, right? The pun is begging me. Lai called the shooting a fabrication of a massacre without bodies. He said I was a purveyor of fake news with the intent of tarnishing the nation's image, that I am a terrorist, amongst other things. The Nigerian army called the shooting fake and that I had made the whole thing up with a green screen. Yes, I have plans of heading to Hollywood after this speech. You know, 15 people died on the 20th of October, and not a single government official, police, or army personnel has been brought to book. 15, at least, all while singing the national anthem. As an artist and a DJ, I listen to music a lot, all the time. And I'm reminded of the legend, the artist, Fela Anikulapo Kuti. He was known for speaking truth to power with his art. And I'm reminded of his 1977 song titled Zombie. Here, Fela likens the Nigerian military to mindless zombies following idiotic orders. It was relevant then, it is relevant today, and it most likely will be relevant tomorrow, in the future. The same future that they say is in the hands of the leaders of tomorrow. But what we have tomorrow are recycled leaders of today who have failed to provide an enabling environment for young leaders to thrive and contribute. No, but they chose instead to kill us all off, one by one. This might sound outrageous to you, and you might wonder why. And I'll tell you. Our leaders are afraid. It's as simple as that. They're afraid of a thinking, an innovative, a collaborative, and a working Nigeria. They're afraid of every young Nigerian who, against all odds, have made it for themselves. They are afraid of a me, the coconut head generation, as we like to call ourselves. We're hard-headed, we're not easily deceived by propaganda, and we stand up to our oppressors. And while we may not do this all the time because wahala no dey finish, as we like to say back home, I think there's a Nigerian in the crowd. Well, what it means though is that the problems never end. And while I understand that we have to take a break to put food on the table, to at least secure our mental health, know this: corruption, tyranny, abuse of power do not go on a break. And so today I'm choosing to use my voice and my talent to push for the things that we ought to have. And I want to ask you all, these fine people, to please join me and support my vision for promoting democracy, human rights values, and equality through arts. Thank you so much for your time.
Has been trailing you, threatening your life and forcing you to flee the country. The army has denied those claims, saying, and I quote, "There are bigger fish to fry," end quote. Tell us what you saw that night and what is going on now.
Well, thank you for having me, Becky. Thank you for giving us your platform to continue talking and sharing this story. What I experienced that day was the worst experience in my life. The Nigerian army that is supposed to protect us came with no warning, none, nobody, no representative to come speak to us first. At least they just came in guns blazing. We heard gunshots from behind the toll gate, because we were on one side of the toll gate, and we heard gunshots from behind and people running. So what we did was just to go down and sit down and just stay still, wave our flags. So because we believed that if we waved our flags, they would see that we are not here to cause any harm. We're not here to cause any troubles. We're just here protesting, as is our right to do so. So there was no warning, nothing. They came shooting. People were just dropping. I can't even explain that to you. It was such a chaotic scene that most times I find it difficult to close my eyes without seeing those scenes. And after they left, the Nigerian police came, SARS to be precise, because looking at the uniform, the ones we could see, and especially one man that was putting on white, I don't know who he is or something, but he had a pistol, kind of like a small gun, and he was just shooting at us directly, and we were just running for our lives. That's the short story of it, really.
Mm. Just after the Lekki Gate incident, I spoke with the Lagos state governor. Have a listen to what he told me.
Becky, I genuinely believe there will be change for two reasons. One, you know, what has happened, especially in Lagos, is extremely unimaginable. That's number one. Number two, it was a clear call, you know, for all of us in government, you know, especially, you know, understanding and realizing, you know, what the youth, what they truly want us to be doing, you know. So it hit all of us like a thunderbolt, and it was just, you know, a wake-up call.
Your response to what you just heard there?
With no due respect, I actually challenge the governor of Lagos State to just say the truth. They know the truth. It's been out there, they're conflicting stories with each other. Nigerians have died. This is not a time to play games. Families are looking for their loved ones. To be honest with you, with regards to me, I don't know how to feel, because in one hand, I'm grateful I'm alive today. In the other hand, I don't know if I should say I'm lucky. It's almost like I'm saying the others were not lucky. It is time that we own up to the things that we're supposed to own up to. The governor has a responsibility to the citizens of Lagos State, and he should say the truth.
Nigeria's president on Tuesday vowed to prevent a repeat of what have been these wider anti-police brutality protests through dialogue and through listening, he says, to all stakeholders. I just wonder, how do his comments make you feel?
To be honest, Becky, at this point, I do not hold what the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria says to any, I can't hold it to heart. Nigeria is a dictatorship with a democratic face. And I think that is primarily to please the international communities. It is our right to protest anything that we see and change that we demand. The Nigerian government has used force from the beginning, starting with trying to infiltrate a peaceful protest with thugs. That didn't work out. And then they've moved to bringing the military in. So the same government that says that they had banned SARS, and this is going for 4 to 5 years now, they keep banning the same SARS, is saying that he wants to have a dialogue. The president hasn't even come out once to address the shooting at the toll gate. So no, Becky, I do not take his word to heart. We need action, we need change, and most importantly, we need accountability.
You've said about this whole experience, and I quote here, "It is cause for what I believe is just. It is shock at the response of my government towards the people it is sworn to protect. It is courage to speak up no matter what. And for me, the will to see justice, accountability, and a change in Nigeria, no matter how much is offered to me or threats to me." Do you believe that change will come? And how long do you think you will need to stay in hiding for?
To be honest, I will start with the fact that the will is there. This generation, as we like to call ourselves, we call ourselves Sorosoke. That means speak up. Unlike the past, where they've oppressed our parents, they've misinformed our parents because we didn't have social media back then. They owned the media houses, they owned the newspapers. But this is a different generation. And that goes to the end where I said that I believe strongly that Nigeria will change. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And now the Nigerian people, especially this generation, they are speaking up. The shock for me was to see that for the first time, something that gave me such belief. I never thought I would see Nigerians come together with the same voice and speak in one voice, demanding change, demanding an end to police brutality. I never thought that our government, first time they're seeing this, would respond in the action with which they did. Seizing the passport of Mo, for example, arresting Yeroms, chasing people out of town and literally out of the country. I believe that the fact that I have been given a second chance at this life, I don't know what will happen to me. I don't know what will happen to my career. All my bookings, everything is gone. I don't know. But what I do know is this. The fact that I have this chance, I will use this opportunity to tell the story, no matter the length, no matter the breadth, I would use the opportunity to tell the story. My hope is to go back home. I don't want to run anywhere. People think that I have sought some sort of asylum. That is not a fact. But you can't chase down everything. Those things are not important. I want to be able to go home, but I want to make sure that I've gotten my story out and the story of other witnesses out under oath. And then when I'm done, I go home. If they want to pick me up at that point, there's nothing to try and silence me for anymore. So if they still want to pick me up, no problem.
And it's a peaceful protest, remember? Yes. Peaceful protest. Great Nigerian youth! Great Nigerian youth! Let's go! Let's go!
peace and unity. Come and join Nigerians follow them to our fatherland. We love and strength and faith. Our neighbors, our heroes, shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, our nation must be freedom, peace and unity.
We are tired! 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 We are tired!
My name is Rinu Odwala. I'm from Lagos State. I am 22 years old. You can call me an activist, but more importantly, I'm an active Nigerian citizen. I went out to protest to first increase the public awareness and put a spotlight on the injustice and oppression happening in Nigeria. And it is important for me to get involved because the injustice that is happening in the country finally required more than hashtags. As a young Nigerian, I'd say the most cogent issue is survival. It's about fighting for our future.
Our freedom, our liberty, our future, our conscience.
Nigerian youths are resilient and we'll get through this together. Unity is what's more important because we're not just fighting for mundane things. We're fighting for a Nigeria where the common graduate can graduate, get a good paid job, and be able to pay their bills comfortably. In Nigeria where our law enforcement agencies or police officers or military operatives will never in any condition physically violate the rights of their citizen. In Nigeria where a common man can get justice irregardless of their status in the society. And there will always be resistance to change, like we all know, but without changing anything or without speaking up or without fighting, things will never change. The protests have not stopped in any way. The world needs to know why we are fighting, and more importantly, that fight may have gone off our streets, it may have gone off the TV screens. It doesn't mean that the fight has stopped or lost is important. If you ask me the legacy that enters will leave, I'd say it's resilience and unity and a new awakening, social political consciousness among young people.
No more stop! No more stop! No more stop! No more stop! Where lives matter! Where lives matter! Where lives matter! Where lives matter! I love it! Where lives matter! Justice for Kolade! Justice for Kolade! Justice for Kolade! Justice for Chimo! Justice for Chimo! Justice
Tina! Justice for Tina! Justice for Rizzy! Justice for Rizzy! Justice for Rizzy! Justice for Rizzy! What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When? 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 When?
SARS stands for the Special Anti-Robbery Squad and was formed to protect the Nigerian public from armed robbery and violent crime. But the unit itself is accused of corruption, torture, and killing. The recent protest started after a video appeared online in early October showing a young man allegedly being shot at by SARS officers. The EndSARS hashtag went viral and online protests spilled into the streets, demanding an end to the units. Nigerian celebrities like Wizkid, Tiwa Savage, John Boyega, and Falz have all helped the issue get global attention.
Every young person here is personal because even if they haven't been personally harassed, either their friend or their brother or sister or somebody close to them has been harassed.
SARS had developed a reputation with some Nigerians for allegedly unfairly profiling young people. Anyone considered flashy for having a nice car, laptop, tattoos, or even dreadlocks could have attracted the attention of SARS officers. With more than 60% of Nigeria's population younger than 24, they're the ones who've been leading the protests. However, these mostly peaceful demonstrations have been disrupted by police. Amnesty International say that people have been killed in the protests, including a police officer. After a few days of protests, Nigeria's president responded by disbanding SARS. President Buhari said this was only the first step in a range of reforms, but that the reputation of the force should not be tarnished by a few bad eggs. Many are fearful of the officers being redeployed to other parts of the police force and have rejected a replacement unit called SWAT. The protesters are continuing their fight for lasting police reform and achieved one of their demands as Nigeria's police chief released all demonstrators that were arrested during the protests. After a summer of global protests against police brutality, Nigerians want the world to know about the issues in their country. With demonstrations of solidarity in the UK, Canada, Germany, and the US, it's not just Nigerians who are now supporting the cause. So that's it. You're now up to date with the EndSARS protests. For more content like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Your hands. Something is going to happen here tonight. The fire of God is going to fall here. The fire is going to fall. Sinners will change. Souls will change. When the fire falls. Oh God. Governments will change. Protocols shall be broken. When the fire falls, hey, oh Jesus, demons will bow, ancient worlds will crumble. When the fire falls, oh Jesus, let it go down tonight. Oceans will dry, mountains will melt. When the fire falls. Let the fire fall. Let it come down tonight. We wait on you, Lord. Let the fire fall in the middle of our worship. Let the fire fall.
So has anything changed, and can police brutality in Nigeria be stopped? This is Inside Story. Hello, welcome to the program. I'm Hashim Ahalbarra. Stop killing us. That's the demand made by thousands of Nigerians protesting against police brutality. The notorious Special Anti-Robbery Squad, or SARS, that's accused of abuses has been disbanded, but it's been replaced by a SWAT unit that will carry out the same duties. On Thursday, protesters blockaded traffic near Lagos Airport as rallies continue to spread across the country. They say previous efforts to overhaul the police forces weren't fulfilled, and they'll keep up pressure on President Muhammadu Buhari to take more radical action. Pledges to stop using force against protesters and the unconditional release of those detained among them hasn't ended the anger. Amnesty International says at least 10 people were killed in more than a week of protests.
I want my mom to be happy in the future. I don't want to die young. I'm not a thief. I'm a music producer. Answers! Yes, enough. Do you go to stand? No more brutality. Yeah, no more back. This country that's over there. Do you still have jobs? You need to be ourselves.
So I jumped out from my cab, to walk all the way to the airport. I don't mind. I've been in support. I've been in support of this movement. So I'm not feeling it. I can walk from here to Abuja just to make sure this movement, we achieve what we want.
Ahmed Idris has the latest from the capital, Abuja.
The authorities have banned street protests, but not before hundreds of protesters marched to the parliament to try to voice their concerns about rising insecurity, about attacks by police, about an end to police brutality. What we've seen over the past few days is that government has given in to some of these demands by disbanding the police unit accused of these atrocities, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, and replaced it just 2 days ago with another outfit called SWAT. And protesters are not convinced that the government has heard them well. They want an end to these. They believe it's just a change in the name, but not in orientation. They believe that the atrocities will still continue under SWAT. The government tried to assure them. Now the protests are taking a different dimension. Protesters want not only accountability from security services, but they also want accountability from their elected officials. In the next coming days, we probably will see more hashtags demanding action on several fronts. Some are even talking about high pay for members of parliament. Some are talking about ending insecurity. That's been the major concern for Nigerians over the past few years in this country, as bandits, Boko Haram, kidnappers, and all these criminals have run riot in various parts of Nigeria.
And SARS began as a largely online movement that developed into organizing protests. The latest wave of anger was sparked by a video showing a man being shot by SARS officers. The squad was set up in 1992 with the aim to fight armed robbery, but its members have been increasingly accused of rights abuses. Amnesty International documented at least 82 cases of torture, extortion, and rape by members of SARS between January 2017 and May 2020. Group says victims have been subjected to mock execution, burning with cigarettes, near asphyxiation, using plastic bags, and sexual violence. The World Internal Security and Police Index rated Nigeria's police forces as the worst in the world in 2016. Joining us are our guests in the Nigerian capital, Abuja, Obianojo Eyowania, one of the activists for the #EndSARS movement. Obianojo lost her brother to police brutality in 2012. In Edinburgh, Ini Deli Adedeji, a research fellow at the University of Edinburgh Centre for African Studies. Back in Abuja, Anete Awang, Nigeria researcher for Human Rights Watch. Warm welcome to all of you. Obianojo, do you trust the government when it says that it is going to, or that it has indeed scrapped SARS?
No, I don't. This is the fourth or the fifth time that the government is scrapping SARS. As at earlier last year, no, this year, the vice president himself banned SARS, and yet it is still ongoing. I do not trust the government when they say they've scrapped SARS. I'll only trust them when the SARS officials on our roads, on our streets, leave the streets. That's when I can only trust them. For now, it's just talks and no actions. I do not believe the government. They lie too much.
Mm-hmm. Ini, this time is different in the sense that the momentum is building up against police brutality. Do you think that this is something that could be conducive to a dramatic change in Nigeria?
Yes, I do think so. I think things seem different this time around because they are different. For once, we see that the youth have actually decided that they're not going to wait any longer for the political class to be the source of their salvation, and they've decided that they have to take it into their own hands, basically, if they want things to turn around for the better in Nigeria. And so we see that there's no political coloration to the nature of the protest so far, and that's because the youth have taken it upon themselves to lead the protests.
Aniete, I mean, when I spoke to Obianoju about whether she trusts the government, she said no. And I think when you talk to people, the general sentiment is this does not seem to be a genuine reform, because what is happening looks like redeploying police officers from SARS into a new entity called SWAT. Do you see it the same way?
Yes, I mean, people are asking for reform that goes beyond changing one name to the other or moving police officers around. They want to see, deep-rooted changes that address major issues around corruption and accountability for not just SARS officers, but members of the Nigerian police force altogether. So they're calling for action in terms of the recruitment process, how police officers are trained, what sort of accountability mechanisms are being put in place within the police system and outside of the system that ensures that any member of the force that is being accused of wrongdoing, it's brought to book. They're looking for a system that allows transparency into funds that come into fund police operations to really ensure that the police officers are well equipped with the sort of weapons and equipment that they need to be